Good morning. Welcome to the special magistrate hearing for September 10, 2024. If you wish to speak, please stand and raise your right hand. We're in affirm to speak the truth at today's hearing. Thank you. Please silence all electronic devices.
Good morning. Our first case is on page 26. Inspector Jessica Martinez. Inspector Jessica Martinez, case number CE 2403-0965, case address 800 Northwest 4th Street, owner New Mount Olive Baptist Church, Inc. This case was first heard 5/14/24 to comply by 6/11/24. One suspension from 7/9/24 to 9/10/24. One section not complied at $50 per day, $1,400 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount and the fines continue to accrue. This is in order to reappear.
Okay. Good morning, Inspector Martinez, presenting case CE 24030965, address 800 Northwest 4th Street. This case was heard on the July 9th hearing, where the magistrate granted a 63-day extension and an order to reappear. As of September 8th, 2024, the property remains in violation as per the photos depict. At this time, the city is requesting a 10-day extension with a stay of fines to be able to re-inspect the property. I spoke with the respondent today, and she says she's in compliance.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Good morning. Roseanne Claris. And I do have photos showing that the area is in compliance.
Okay, wonderful. So the city just wants a 10-day extension. They're granting you a 10-day extension so they can go out and re-inspect the property. Okay, so I'm going to grant the extension. They'll go back and re-inspect, and if that's the case, then you could ask for mitigation once you're in compliance.
Okay. And the other thing were the fines that have been imposed.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. Once you're in compliance, you can request mitigation, but you're not in compliance yet. So the fines, I'm going to stop the fines from running as of today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then they'll be stayed for 10 days while they re-inspect the property. If you're not in compliance, the fine will restart. But if you're in compliance, then you can request mitigation.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, I'm Travis Knowles. One of the things I want to ask you, we have construction going on 8th Street. They're building New Mount Harmon apartments, and one of our fines deal with mitigating that swell that's been torn up by the construction. But the construction they have documents to where they're going to restore that swell. So I don't know if they're going to be complete with that portion in the 10 days. How would that work so that because we did attempt to put grass there before, but as soon as we put there, they tore up the whole road.
And it's not our construction.
Yeah, so that portion, if that's still a violation, I don't know how we could mitigate that in 10 days.
I'll have to
So we may, kindly, is there possible for us to probably get a longer extension? Because I know that currently they're doing the sidewalks. They just redid the road, so I know that they're gonna do it, but I don't think it's in 10 days. I think more along the lines of 30 to 45 days, they'll be complete. But everything internal of the property, we've completed.
No, I appreciate it. Does the inspector know what's, okay. Perfect.
Good morning, Supervisor Cloyan for the City of Fort Lauderdale. So the swale was not done, is what you're saying?
No, we can't do the swell because when we attempted to put the sod, they tore up the whole road and they closed the roads. And right now they just redid the asphalt. See that portion there?
Okay.
Like all of the asphalt is brand new, so they're actually doing new sidewalks and they're doing everything on that side currently.
Well, 28 days would be fine, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'll stay the fine for 28 days would be October 8th. Obviously, if you run into a problem, let the inspector know. But
no problem.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay, and thank you.
Our next case, page 34, Inspector Marco Agilera, case number CE 2401-0336, case address 2648 Nassau Lane, owner Roger Ray. This case was first heard 3/12/24 to comply by 8/14/24. One section not complied at $100 per day, $2,800 accrued, and the fines continue to accrue. This is a request for extension.
Good morning, Marco Agilera, Senior Code Compliance Officer, presenting case CE 2401-0336 for 2648 Nassau Lane. This case was previously heard at the 3/12/24 hearing, and the magistrate found for the city and ordered 154 days to come into compliance with 9-304B. As of 8/14/24, the fines have begun to accrue at $100 per day. This is a request for extension, and the current status of the permit is in review.
Good morning. Please say your name. Wait, your mic's not on, I don't think. Oh, it is?
Now it is? So I don't have to press it? Okay, sorry. I have I don't have a permit. It's been in review. We've gone through 3 different groupings: zoning, engineering, structural, back and forth. And
How much time do you need, Ms. Ray?
I don't know. It depends on when I get a permit.
Does the city have any insight where she is in the permitting process?
Unfortunately not. That would be through the building department. I mean, she did apply for the permit. It has been open for a while now.
Yeah, we applied in February.
So it's on the city side for comments where doesn't it go back and forth for her comments? I mean, the city.
Yes, she's submitted several corrections already. It's now been in review, so it appears to be that it is going to go through this time, that all the corrections are correct, because they're very quick with sending a notice back to make corrections, and it's been since the 22nd.
All right, I'm going to grant the extension till November 12th, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good
And
luck.
again, if the permit still hasn't.
Come back.
Okay.
Do you want a notice to reappear then?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so let's do notice to reappear for November 12th as well then. And that way, if you're run out of time, you let us know.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Our next case, page 25. Inspector Gustavo Caracus, Pat Gavin presenting case number CE 2405-0847, case address 812 Southwest 6th Court, owner Peter B. Fulton Jr. This case was first heard 7/9/24 to comply by 8/13/24. One section not complied at $50 per day, $1,400 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount, and the fines continue to accrue.
Good morning. Pat Gavin presenting for Gus Caracus, City of Fort Lauderdale, Code Compliance, presenting case and address as read. This case was first heard on July 9th, 2024. The magistrate ruled in favor of the city, and the property owner was ordered to correct violations at this property by August 13th, 2024. The violations at this property have still not been brought into compliance. This case has been non-compliant for 28 days with a fee of $50 per day for a total of $1,400 currently due. The city is requesting the full imposition of fines in the amount of $1,400 with fees continuing to accrue.
Hi, good morning. Peter Fulton. The pod is for a construction project that is ongoing or will be ongoing. I expect my permits today or tomorrow. At that point, the pod.
I don't think it's about the pod, Mr. Fulton. I'm looking, it's about a tree.
No. The tree's been taken down and the permit's been issued.
I don't know, our docket says, which one is it? What is the violation for? Because the docket says it's for a tree removal.
No. Tree's been removed and the permit's been issued. That's not.
I'm looking it up right now. I'm looking it up.
Okay, give us 1 second, because my docket says a tree removal, so that's why I want to know what your violation is.
Oh.
Mr. Fulton, I think it may be a little confusing because there's 2 different cases on the property, and the case that is being heard currently right now is pertaining to the tree permit.
tree permit's been issued.
Okay, let me look that for you.
I paid all the fines and everything, so I understood that to be resolved. I went down to the building services department and met with them. The tree was causing a backflow into my house.
Okay, let's see what she finds, because that's what, the only information I was given, so I want to hear the right violation.
So for case CE 24050-847, which is the one in front of you right now, the tree permit has been issued. So we would need to go back and look at the fines and determine when you came into compliance and what the fine amount is. So the fine amount in front of you right now may not be accurate.
How long, is this something you could do during our hearing, or you have to do this?
We could do this during the hearing. We can
Yeah,
recall the
since he's
case
already
since he's
here.
already here. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, sir, if we could recall the case. So,
What does that mean?
I'm sorry?
If you could just have a seat for a few minutes, then we can figure out the exact number, and then we can just address the fines while you're here, so you don't have to come back.
Oh, okay,
If
thank you.
that's okay.
Our next case, page 38, Inspector Wanda Avella, case number CE 2404091, case address 1408 Northwest 6th Street, owner Alfonso Bradley and Gregory Bradley, and all others. This case was first heard 5/30/24 to comply by 8/9/24. Two sections are now complied at $50 per day for a total of $1,100. The city is requesting $488 in administrative cost, and this was a request for extension.
Good morning, Wanda Avella for the city. Case CE 240400091. The address is 1408 Northwest 6th Street. The property was first inspected on 4/3/24. The following violations were observed. 9363 was withdrawn. 9308A has complied. 9306, the exterior building walls have not been maintained. The structural parts, including fascia, soffit, are in disrepair. There are areas of the exterior that have stains and missing peeling paint. This is a reoccurring violation of case number CE 1906-1040 and will be brought before the special magistrate to obtain a finding of fact, whether it comes into compliance or not. 9305B is complied, 9304B is complied, 1812A is complied, 4734 1A1 is complied, and the pre-hearing inspection was conducted on 9/9/24, and the property is now in total compliance. The city is requesting administration costs of $488. The respondent is here to speak.
Is the city also requesting a finding in fact for 9/306?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Hi, good morning.
Good morning. I'm representing my father, Alfonso Bradley. I'm his power of attorney and caregiver.
What's your name, ma'am?
Katura Bradley.
Okay.
He's 91 years old. He has dementia. I'm trying to just take care of everything for him, so I'm just like up in arms with everything. It was extremely hard to just get the funds to just do that. The roof could have been done way earlier, before the 29th, which was the due date, but because of the inclement weather, it was just hard to just get somebody to come out there and do it. But everything has been done and complied with. Actually, before, a little after the first hearing, it was done, except for the roof and the painting, which is completely finished.
Katura, excuse me, do you waive your rights to have a Massey, to come back for a Massey?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so the city is actually reducing, you had fines that, let's see, accrued and they total $1,200. The city's only seeking the administrative cost of $488.
Okay.
Okay, and then they want a finding in fact for violation 9/306 so that it doesn't, it's just for the record that it's a recurring violation. There's no fine associated with it right now, but they just want you to know for the record that please don't let it happen again.
No, the house is actually in the process of closing to be sold. It was when we first met in July, but now it's just taking a little longer. I don't know, with the title or something, but everything is clear. I'm just waiting to close on it.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to grant the city's request for administrative fines only of $488 and a finding of fact. All right.
Thank you so
good
much.
luck
Thank
to
you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our next case, page 32, Inspector Wanda Avella, case number CE 2401-0383, case address 1617 Northwest 5th Street, owner Beverly Chambers and Sefton Chambers. This case was first heard 6/11/24 to comply by 8/13/24. Two sections not complied at $100 per day, $5,600 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount and the fines continue to accrue. This is a request for extension.
Wanda Avella for the city. Case CE 24010383, address 1716 Northwest 5th Street. The property was inspected on 9/9. The following violations were observed. 1812A complied. 9306, the exterior building walls have not been maintained. Structural parts, including fascia, soffits, are in disrepair. There are areas of the exterior that have stains, missing, peeling paint. 9280H1's complied. 9305B, the landscape of the property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. A pre-trial hearing was conducted on 9/9. The property remains in violation. The respondent is here to speak.
Morning, please state your name.
Beverly Chambers, good day.
Good day. This is your request for extension. So what's going on, Ms. Chambers?
I'm sorry?
This is your opportunity. You're asking for an extension, so it's your opportunity to speak.
Yes, to ask for an extension. Can I get 40 days? That house is being demolished, and we're in cycle number 4 with the building department, getting documents back and forth, system up, system down. So that's why there hasn't been any care to the house, just the landscaping. So I have the documentation to show you. I've spoken to several people at the building department. We have 2 things to do, which is the 2 outer trees have to be encased, and then this survey that I uploaded was not digital, so I have to make an extra step to get that done. We have already paid our fees, so we just need more time. The reason I'm asking for that amount of time, because when I came here last time, I thought this would be completed, but obviously I'm not as savvy or as good as responding back, and the new system is difficult, y'all. It really is.
So how much time do you, Ms. Chambers?
40 days.
All right, why don't we do 63, a grant extension for 63 days, which is November 12th.
Let me ask you another question.
Sure.
What will we still have to pay, being that we keep the grass cut. Sometimes it's almost twice a week.
So I'm going to stay your fines as of today. Mm-hmm. Okay, so then you'll have a 63-day extension. If on November 12th you're not in compliance, the fines will start again.
Okay. All right, so they're frozen right now?
They're stopped right now.
Okay, great.
They're still outstanding. They're $5,600 outstanding, but they will stop as of today. They will not continue to accrue.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thank you.
Do you want a notice to reappear?
We're going back to page 25, recalling case number CE 24050-847, case address 812 Southeast 6th Court, owner Peter B. Fulton Jr., Inspector Gustavo Caracus, Pat Gavin presenting.
Good morning. Pat Gavin presenting for Gus Caracus, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance. Presenting case and address as read. This case was first heard on July 9th, 2024. The magistrate ruled in favor of the city, and the property owner was ordered to correct violations at this property by August 13th. The violations at this property have still not been brought into compliance. This case has been non-compliant for 28 days with a fee of $50 per day for a total of $1,400 currently due. The city is requesting a stay of fines and a 63-day extension.
Special Magistrate, just for clarification, the permit that I was looking at before, it was in an issued status, but it's not complete yet. So he may have to replace the tree. Him and I discussed it back there. I'm going to get him in contact with landscaping. So that's why we're giving him an extension, because there is a miscommunication or a misunderstanding regarding what was needed to complete the permit.
Okay. Are you okay with that, Mr. Fulton?
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to stay the fines. I'm going to grant the extension with the new compliance date on November 12th.
Okay, thanks.
All right, good luck to you.
Our next case, page 16, Inspector Marco Agilera, case number CE 2407-0772, case address 801 Northwest 2nd Street, owner Sandra M. Carter, posted at property 83124, posted at 1 East Broward 82824.
Good morning, Marco Agilera, Senior Code Compliance Officer for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case and address as read. This case was first cited on 7/30/24 for the following violations. 2427B has complied. 9-363, failure to register the residential rental dwelling within the City of Fort Lauderdale. 9-306, the exterior of the building has not been maintained. Structural parts, including the fascia, have stains and missing and peeling paint. 9-305B, the landscape of this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. This is a repeat violation per previous case CE 23010848. And as such, fines will begin to accrue from the date the violation was first observed on July 30th. 47341A1, there is illegal land use occurring at this RMM 25 residential property. There is non-permitted outdoor storage of items, including but not limited to car jacks, mops, buckets, signboards, oil jugs, etc. This is a recurring violation per previous case CE 1903-01624. 9-305A, there is growth of landscape material hedges encroaching upon the public right-of-way. 184C has complied. 47344A1 has complied. 47191E, there is landscape hedges within the site triangle at this residential corner intersection. This is creating a hazard to the health, safety, and welfare of residents. 1812A, there is a large pile of trash on the sidewalk. This is a recurring violation per previous case CE 1903-1624. This violation has complied. As of 9/8/24, the property remains in violation as per the photos depict. At this time, the city is requesting the following. For 9-363, 47341A1, 9-305A, and 47191E, 10 days to comply or fines of $250 per day. City is also requesting for violation 9-306, 28 days or fines of $250 per day thereafter. And finally, the city is requesting for violation 9-305B to impose fines and for fines to continue to accrue at $100 per day from the date the violation was first observed on July 30th.
Okay, so for 9-363, you're seeking 10 days
Yes, ma'am.
for $250. Okay, and then 9-306, you want 28 days for $250. You want $250 for each of those violations except for 9-305B.
Yes, ma'am.
And then 4734.1A1, you're seeking 10 days
Yes, ma'am.
versus $250. 9-305A, 10 days or $250.
Yes, ma'am.
And 47-19-1E, 10 days.
Yes, ma'am.
And what are you seeking for 1812A? Are they in compliance on that one?
1812A, yes, they are in compliance, just a finding of fact, because it was a recurring
So
violation.
you want a finding of fact. Okay, please state your name for the record.
My name is Kristen Bell. I'm the daughter of my mother, Sandra and Carter.
Okay,
I'm Sandra Carter.
okay. So do you understand what the city is seeking?
Yes, we are aware. Over the last year or so, with all the violations accruing, unfortunately, there was a squatter in that property for a while, and we had to go through probate and then also go through the eviction process. So we were unable for the whole year to even come in and try to get any work done because the person has destroyed the home within. And also, I've been taking over my mother's affairs since she retired last year, and I've been just kind of figuring out the process and trying to figure out what's going on. And right now, we're currently in the process of trying to sell the property because of the fact that, due to the fact of age and due to the fact that we're not going to reside in Florida, we need to sell the property and make sure that it's in good standing. So, but the violations accrued because the squatter would not leave the property. If we try to bring people to come and take care of the property, because of the fact that it had gotten kind of, it became more volatile, like there were assaults there sometimes, or things that never occurred there when when she was there, that now we were like trying to fight. And so our attorney has been going through probate for us evictions. The eviction happened on August the 7th,
And
So you're filing in possession of the property?
yes.
Okay, so I
Yes.
have a few questions then. So there's one application, failure to register the residential dwelling within the city. That's not relevant if they're not going to rent it out, is it?
If it's not rented out, they can provide a notarized letter saying that the property is not being rented.
Okay, so that's one thing you can do. And before I move on, why are you asking for $250 a day per fine versus, something much lower? This is a really high fine per violation.
So we're going to change, we're going to keep the 9363, the landlord registration, at $250 per day. But the 4734 1A1, the 9305A, and 4719 1E, we're going to reduce to 100 per day.
1E. I mean, I don't have a 1G. I have a 1E.
1E, I'm sorry.
And how much are you reducing it to?
To 100 per day.
Okay, why not 9-306?
And 9-306, we are also reducing to 100 per day.
Okay, so you're reducing all the fines but for the registration.
Yes, ma'am. That would be 250.
Okay, so some of it doesn't make sense to me as far as, okay, you can keep it clean. There are trash carts now pulled back to the approved look. Okay, that's complied. The permit, you're going to do an affidavit. The exterior of the building has not been maintained. Structural parts include the fascia has stains and missing peeling paint. They're going to sell it. So I don't think they're going to go ahead and paint it if they're going to sell it.
Hey, how you doing, Annette?
Hi, how are you?
Good. My name is Wayne. I'm actually the party that is buying the property.
Oh, okay, perfect.
We went under contract over a month ago. We should be closing any day now.
Okay, thank you for being here.
Yes, I also assisted with the eviction as well.
Okay, are you going to be renovating or demolishing it? What's your intent?
We're going to take care of all those violations day one.
Okay, so how much time do you need? These are really short times.
Yes.
I want.
Yeah, we need 30 days. That's it.
So on all the violations,
Yes.
you need more time. Okay.
So there's just one violation that is for the site triangle that we would request it not be 30 days. That intersection, you cannot see to the right at that intersection. So the 47 at 19-1E, if we could request a shorter time frame than 30 days, it is a life safety hazard.
Okay, so do you understand which violation he's talking
Yes,
about? Okay,
yes,
so that violation you have 10 days. On the other violations, 28 days, is that sufficient or do you need more time?
That should be sufficient. Like I said,
Why don't we do 53? Why don't we do 63 days so that you don't have a problem, okay?
I appreciate
No, you're welcome. So we're going to do 63 days on all the violations except for the one that, that he's asking for 10 days. And then as far as, there's another one that you want the fines to run as of July 30th. The landscape of this property is not being maintained. You want as of July 30th?
Yes, that was a repeat of a previous case, and as such, fines would begin to accrue from the day the violation was first observed.
Okay, I'm not going to grant, was someone saying something?
no, that was me. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm not going to grant it as of July 30th. I just, I feel there's enough hardship here. Okay, so I'm going to give you the same time period of 63 days to get in compliance on that one as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm sorry? Every single violation is going to be given 63 days except for the registration, which you're going to do an affidavit, and the triangle. There are items within the site triangle that you're going to correct.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Our next case, page 22, Inspector Paul Smart, case number CE 2407-0330, case address 3170 Northwest 65th Drive, owner Emmanuel Laurent and Gregory Laurent, posted at property 81224, posted at 1 East Broward 82824.
Okay, good morning. Officer Smart with the City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance Night Team. This is for case number CE 240-70330. Address is 3170 Northwest 65 Drive. On July 14, 2024 at approximately 11:38 p.m., I responded to a complaint regarding music and loud party at subject's property. Upon arrival at inspection, I did not hear any noise or music playing, but while taking the photo and doing the recording, a car arrived and backed into the driveway. Then two ladies came out of the house and asked if everything was okay. I asked if they were the property owner, and they said no, they're only renting it for the weekend. I then asked if they have any proof of the rental, and they showed me the booking on their phone. I took a photo and attached to the case files for this purpose. I then explained to the complainant complaint that was received regarding loud music. They stated that they were playing music earlier, but they stopped. They assured me that there will be no more noise for the remainder of their stay. A search of Amari, which is the vacation rental website, did not show any listings, but the renters stated they were renting and showed proof of this renting. Property was in violation, and they have currently complied and in the process of getting their vacation rental certification, but the city is seeking a finding of fact that if they come in violation again, they will be fined $250 per day. $250.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Michel de Baptiste, and I have my friend here and flew last night to Montreal to be here today. So yes, we tried to do Airbnb on that house, but when we found out that we need a license, so we stopped everything back in July, and we applied with Tarasi to have the license, and we did with the city of Lauderdale, and we're still waiting for the city to approve us. So everything has shut down.
Right. So what the city is seeking a finding of fact, so that if it happens again, you get an automatic fine of $250 per day. But as we speak today, there is no fine. I'm not imposing any fine, only if it happens again.
Okay.
Magistrate, I apologize. The request should be for $1,000 a day for operating without a certificate. The $250 pertains to when they actually have a certificate. So operating without a certificate again would be $1,000 a day. That's what we're requesting.
Okay, so he had said $250, it was wrong.
Yes, that was my fault.
Okay, so if it happens again, it'll be $1,000 a day fine, okay? But right now, there's no fines being imposed.
It will not happen again.
Good. I'm sure it won't. All right, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our next case, page 33. Inspector Raphael Santos, case number CE 24040959. Case address 200 Southeast 19th Street. Owner C. Isabel Dreyer Living Trust. This case was first heard 7/9/24 to comply by 8/13/24. One section not complied at $100 per day, $2,800 accrued. The fines continue to accrue. This is a request for extension.
Good morning, Inspector Raphael Santos for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case CE 24040959. The property address is 200 Southeast 19th Street. Case was first heard on July 9th, 2024, where the magistrate found for the city get given till August 13th, 2024 to comply or a fine of $100 per day. An inspection was conducted on August 15th, 2024 and August 29th, 2024 and found that the violation remains. There is a building application in file. It's BLD-GEN 24070-357 that was applied for on July 16th. The last correction submitted was August 23rd, 2024, and the respondents are here asking for an extension of time.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Good morning. My name is Isabel Dreyer. I own 200 Southeast 19th Street. I tried to comply as Mr. Santos. We were supposed to put pavers. So I went to the city. I signed tremendous amount of papers, back and forth. We went 7 days, 8 days. Finally, on August 13, I paid $331 for the permit, I suppose. When I was supposed to acquire the permit, they sent me to another place, which was
engineering place, indicating that no, I cannot put papers after I paid and everything else. They told me that the driveway was cement, therefore I have to put cement outside. And then I need another drawings, so I need an engineer. I went to Mr. What's his name? Carbonell to draw the papers. He told me I need how do you call it? Another contractor to do the paving, and then in order for him to do the drawing, I need sketch, so I have to call somebody. That took 7 days in order to come. I pay another $890. I had the drawings from Mr. Carbonell. I went to the city. I went to the engineering department. They told me, well, this first drawing is no good, so go back to Mr. Carbonell because you have to escape the sidewalk, and he didn't. So this is the second drawing, which he erased the sidewalk. I have the contractor. Yesterday, finally, I have another kind of papers that the contractor had to sign, and I had to sign. So we submitted again to the city. I'm still waiting to see when it's going to be the second permit or the third permit. So I need an extension. He says about 90 days.
Okay.
Because they're going to take all the swelling that I just put the grass into in order to do something about the cement so the water will not retain when it rains.
And any fines to be waived?
I'm not going to waive the fines. I'm going to stay the fines because you're not in compliance yet. I'm going to grant an extension of 91 days, so your new compliance date will be December 10th.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck to you.
I'm sorry, what about the fines?
I'm staying the fines. I don't waive them. When you're in compliance, you can request mitigation, but I'm going to stay. The fines will start running as of today, so there'll be no more fines. And whatever fines you have, you can deal with once you're in compliance. You can request mitigation or amnesty, however we're going to go about that.
When everything is complied, let's say 90 days extension, then everything will be returned?
Nothing will be returned. You have to request mitigation.
Yeah, it's the mitigation.
I don't know what that is.
It's to reduce the fines that have been accruing until today.
Okay, but the reason why were the fines accrued? We went, the first day we went from the hearing, went straight to the city and filled out the application.
Because you had a compliance date of August 13th and you didn't comply. Says there was a compliance date of August 13th. You didn't comply.
I contacted the inspector numerous times. I called him, left messages, but I never heard back from him. So I thought maybe he was on vacation. To tell him that it's being delayed. The engineer, Taylor Phillip, stated that there were other things. The application was giving.
Can you talk in the mic for me? Can you talk in the microphone for me, please?
The
And please state your name for the record.
Malena Vaca. The application we were given by the city was the wrong one to begin with. First of all, they gave us a building application instead of a right-of-way application. Okay, that was one. They also stated that we can pull an owner's permit, and the paperwork and everything went. And then we got an email from the city stating that that there are some issues, and then there were other forms that we were not given that needed to filled out. We were there like almost every other day at the city, and back and forth with the engineer. He also stated that in addition that the permit that we were pulling to replace the pavers that Mr. Santos stated was incorrect, because since the driveway is cement, the permit, the application is to be for a cement right of way, not pavers. So everything had to be redone all over again for a cement instead of pavers. So that we're going back and forth. It's not like we didn't want to comply and we just ignored. It's just there were issues and we were given the wrong information to begin with, including the application for that. So it's not like we ignored.
When was your request for additional time to comply made? She made a request for an extension. When was that made? After August 13th?
On August 13th, that's when I paid the $331 to the city in order for them to give me the permit, but they could not give me the permit because it was not pavers, it was cement.
But prior to that, we provided the paperwork which turned out to be the wrong one. That's why we were going back and forth. We're back in
I know.
July.
I think one of the problems lies when you request an extension of time, you're supposed to do it prior to the compliance date. You did it after the compliance date. We have a letter here that was dated August 14th stating you needed additional time to comply, but you did it after your compliance date, and that's why the fine started to run as opposed to prior to your compliance date. Have you been speaking with the inspector all this time?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
So the fine should be waived.
I'm in agreement that she called me for an extension. I don't recall what exact date it was, but if it's August 14th, I mean, that's...
Okay. All right, well, anyway, based on the testimony, I'm going to waive the fines as of today, okay? And what?
So it's
I
going to
can't
waive
waive
the
that?
fines as of today, but still you're going to have to pay previous
Okay.
fines.
Oh, okay. All right. Apparently, I can't do that. We're gonna have to come back when you're in compliance and deal with your fines. I don't have any jurisdiction.
So are the fines being waived?
No, I don't have the authority to waive your fines. So you're gonna have to, once you're in compliance, we'll come back for a hearing, and then you could explain everything again, what you just explained today, and make regarding a reduction of your fines.
So it's when it's finished, I suppose.
When it's finished, when you're in compliance.
So, and can we have
I gave you till
100 days
December
extension?
10th. What?
Could we have 100 days extension? Because that's what they need.
You asked for 90.
90.
Oh, 90, okay, 90.
So I gave you 91 days, which is December 10th.
Okay.
And then,
Okay.
Your Honor,
Thank you very much.
then it would have to have an order to reappear.
And then in order to reappear so we can
be
deal with
able
the
to address
fines.
the fines.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our next case, page 28, Inspector Robert Kasarowicz, case number FC 2404-0008, case address 821 Southeast 14th Street, owner Wisland Hilaire. This case was first heard 6/27/24 to comply by 7/7/24. One section complied at $100 per day, $1,400 accrued. The city is requesting no fines.
Good morning. Captain Robert Casar, Fort Lauderdale Fire Marshal's Office for case FC 2404-0008, property address 821 Southeast 14th Street. Property is in compliance, and it's the testimony of the respondent over here that we had been in communications, but she corrected the property address markings on it. She had a painter that came out there and they painted the doors and they weren't in contrasting color. And she corrected them almost immediately after contact with me. However, she failed to notify me that the job was completed. So it wasn't noticed until we went back for the posting on the property. So we're in favor of a full abatement on the fines on this case.
Okay, so ordered. The fines are waived.
Thank you.
Oh, Wisland Hilaire.
Okay, thank you.
Our next case, page 17, Inspector Marco Agilera, case number CE 2406-0660, case address 512 Northwest 15 Terrace, owner Nareeb Patel, posted at property 8/31/24, posted at 1 East Broward 8/28/24. Next case, page 5, Inspector Robert Kasarowicz, case number FC 2408-0017, case address 1600 Southeast 15th Street, owner Plaza 15 Condo Association, Inc., posted at property 8/28/24, posted at 1 East Broward 8/28/24.
Good morning, Captain Robert Casar, Fort Lauderdale Fire Marshal's Office for case FC 2408-0017, property address 1600 Southeast 15th Street. Property is cited in reference to NFPA 1 18.2.2.1. That violation is complied. NFPA 1 13.4.4. The fire pump does not function as designed and installed, as the service report has the following deficiencies that were noted. The fire pump's in need of repacking. Roof manifold reached 4 psi at 279 gallons per minute, and the roof manifold only reached 7 psi on the pitot gauge. They have had the fire pump removed, went out, serviced, repaired, reinstalled. They ended up with additional problems due to a switch that is supposed to shut the fire pump off. That part is on order, and they're going to request some additional time in order to come into compliance.
How much time?
Time frame will be 28 days or $100 a day thereafter. I've spoken with the contractor, and they anticipate that it'll be Thursday by the time that switch is on site.
Okay. Please state your name for the record.
Good morning. My name is Carl Valentine, president of Plaza 15.
Okay. All right. So the 28 days, which would be October 8th, or a fine of $100 a day.
Correct. Also, since we're here talking about water, I have a couple of comments I would like to share with you. 16th of May, water pressure on domestic water was low at Plaza 15. We had this issue until the 30th of May. It appears that a city contractor had hit a water main at its water plant. The city failed to notify its residents until approximately the 30th of May.
Wait, how is this relevant to this?
Well, we're talking about water, and I thought I would use this venue to...
Those comments probably are best for Public Works.
Okay.
As code enforcement has no jurisdiction over the sewers or the
Well, I'm
water
just trying
structure.
to share this since we're all members of the community here, and there's city members here, and I would like them to...
Well, the forum with that would be the city commission
Okay.
meeting, not at
All right.
magistrate hearings.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you.
Our next case, page 27, Inspector Marco Agilera, case number CE 2404-0556, case address 3904 Southwest 13th Court, owner MPG 3904 LLC. This case was first heard 6/27/24 to comply by 7/25/24. Two sections complied at $100 per day, $5,200 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount.
Good morning, Marco Agilera, Senior Code Compliance Officer, presenting case and address as read. This case was previously heard at the Special Magistrate hearing on 6/27, and the Magistrate ordered 28 days to comply, or $100 per day thereafter. Reinspection performed at the end of the 28 days revealed the property remained in violation as per the photos depict. The property did eventually come into compliance on 8/20/24. At this time, city is requesting to impose the full amount of fines.
Okay. Please state your name.
Xiomara. I'm Xiomara Ibarra.
Okay. So the city is requesting that $5,200 be imposed.
Can I request that, for that fine to be reduced? One of the reasons that it was, it was kind of hard to get in compliance because the rain, it was a lot of rain going on. And we tried to get, different code, just to get that, the parking paints and things like that. But we've been having a lot of empty units in the building because it was a lot of homeless going around. It was like a camping of homeless around in the area, trashing the whole neighborhood and doing things. I mean, we were losing tenants, and we cannot rent the building. I mean, $5,000 is a lot of money.
You'll have a better opportunity getting a reduction through the amnesty program, which is 90% reduction.
Okay.
Okay. So if I give you a reduction, you can't apply for that. So you'll get a better result with the amnesty program.
Then just apply it online in the website. Okay.
Okay.
Already.
All right. So ordered.
Okay. That's
All
it.
right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Next case, page 9, Inspector Rachel Moore, case number CE 2403-0049, case address 725 West Evanston Circle, owner Ivany and Silvio Mateer, posted at property 8/30/24, posted at 1 East Broward 8/28/24.
Thank you.
Inspector Rachel Moore for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case just read in by Ms. Blue. This property was first inspected on 3/3/24 when the following violations were discovered. 9-308(B) complied, 9-278(E) complied, 9-304(B), Non-compliance. The driveway at this property is discolored and cracked with small potholes. 9-306 is complied. As of pre-hearing inspection dated 9/9/24, the driveway maintenance remains out of compliance. The city is requesting 28 days to comply or $50 per day thereafter.
Okay. Good morning. Please state your name.
Hey, how are you? This is Sylvia Mendy.
Okay. So the city is giving you another 28 days to get in compliance. Okay. Or a fine of $50 a day. Are you gonna? Is that sufficient for you to get in compliance?
Yeah.
Okay. So order then. Good luck to you.
Our next case, page 24. Inspector Gustavo Caracus, Pat Gavin presenting, case number CE 2401-0652, case address 838 Northwest 4th Avenue, owner Biogenesis Development and Growth Economic Cohort LLC. This case was first heard 5/14/24 to comply by 7/9/24. One section complied at $100 per day, $2,100 accrued. The city is requesting $786.67.
Good morning. Pat Gavin for Gus Caracus, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited on January 18th and given time to comply for the following violation: 47-2013.G1. There is asphalt placed in the front area of the property, swale right-of-way, without first obtaining required permits from the city. On May 14th, 2024, the Special Magistrate Flynn ordered compliance within 56 days or a fine of $100 per day. On July 10th, 24, the violation remained and fines began to accrue. The violation at this property was brought into compliance on July 30th, 2024. This case was non-compliant for 21 days with a fine of $100 per day for a total of $2,100 currently due. The city is requesting the administrative costs of $786.67.
Good morning. How are you? My name is Rod Harvey. I'm with Biogenesis. We worked from the next day, the same day that we were originally here to get this done. There were some delays with contractors with getting to the right people. And so we're asking that, also some system glitches with my vendors being able to upload the documentation, which cost us probably about a week and a half. And so we're requesting and asking for a full waiver. We did the best we could to get this done. We worked very closely with staff, and so we're hoping for leniency and grace so that we can call this zero.
Well, the city waived their fine, all the daily fines, but let me hear from the city regarding the administrative costs.
The city is not opposed to reducing it further. I did work with Mr. Harvey, and he did provide documentation of them trying to upload these documents in a timely manner. So as I worked with him, they were diligent in the permitting process. So we're not opposed to whatever you rule, Magistrate.
Okay, so I'm going to just reduce the fine to $500. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Our next case, page 5. Inspector Robert Croc, case number CE 24050397, case address 2200 Northeast 36th Street, owner 22 36th Street LLC, posted at property 8/22/24, posted at 1 East Broward 8/28/24.
Inspector Robert Croc presenting on behalf of the city. Case number CE 24050397. Case address as read. This property was cited for violation 18-1. There's a large party involving over-occupancy, illegal parking, and physical altercations at 2200 Northeast 36th Street that is creating a public nuisance. It is being maintained in such a manner that the property is or may threaten or endanger the public health, safety, or welfare, or may adversely affect and impair the economic welfare of adjacent properties. I arrived at the property around just before 10 p.m. and there was a large party going on. This was a unregistered vacation rental. The occupants were throwing a big party. The tenant was actually in the attempt, after I'd gotten there, to kick everyone out. They were arguing, having problems getting everyone out, and then there was an altercation in the front of the property, trying to get everybody to leave still. This took about an hour, hour and a half for this all to get done. There is a video of the end of the altercation that we took as well.
That's the least.
What is the city seeking?
Up to 15,000.
Okay. Please state your name.
How's it going? My name is Gloria Alicia.
Okay. So the city's seeking $15,000 for this violation. This is your opportunity to respond.
Yeah. I mean, as far as the party going on, that is absolutely unacceptable. As far as the vacation rental, I explained to Inspector Croc when I showed up to the house. So they had called me that the party was going on. We have cameras in the property that also detect noise, but I guess they had disconnected them at that time, so I didn't see it. So they gave me a call.
He did arrive at the property later that night. We did speak with him. He did come to the property, but it was well after the fact.
Yeah, so I showed up within like an hour of them calling me. I was down in Miami. And when I showed up, I kicked everybody out immediately. I called the non-emergency line for the police department about 7 times, and I stayed there until 2 a.m., still calling them. Nobody ever showed up, which that's one thing. But as far as the party going on, absolutely it went on, and that is unacceptable. I would have stopped it immediately if I was around. The last thing we want to do is endanger anything in the community or anything. We invested in the community because the community is so beautiful, and we spent a lot of money. We just purchased this home December 15th of this past year, so absolutely there's no room for this to happen, and I would have never allowed it to happen.
Is this a recurring problem?
Sorry?
Is this a recurring problem?
At this property? No, we haven't had a problem at this property before.
And how many days was this person renting this property for?
2 days. So we've taken a lot of different steps since then to avoid this. So we've increased the amount of days for any rentals to happen. We don't really have that many rentals anymore. We're trying to rent it out long term.
And how much did you charge them?
We filed a claim with Airbnb. They damaged a bunch of stuff in my house. So there was all types of different claims with it. So we had a cleaning fee claim. We had carpets, mattresses. I mean, I have all the pictures on my phone. It was a disaster in there. So,
Your Honor, I just want to bring to your attention and to highlight the inspector's testimony. At the time this party occurred, it was an unregistered vacation rental.
yes, and I would like to address that as well. So if you look at the records, and
You had an open application, but you weren't licensed yet.
Yeah, so when we were applying for this property, we applied back in January 31st, I believe. I might have the dates a little wrong. January 31st, I completed everything. I paid different taxes, different things, and it occurred that there was one tax, not a Broward City, because I paid 2 Broward City taxes. I may be, whichever one the name is of it. One of the taxes was for $78.25. And I guess that was the one that was holding us back. I had no idea about this. I had called the city multiple times. I emailed Mr. Antonio Wood, I think his name is, in the vacation rental side, okay, constantly staying in contact with them. But from February all the way until whenever I got the response from them, I don't have the exact date on me, we didn't know. I mean, we knew that we had a tax to pay, but we didn't know that that was holding us back.
Right, but you knew you didn't have a license when you rented it out.
But we thought we were fine with it, right? Because we had submitted everything, so we didn't know what else we needed to get.
Right, but you didn't have a license, right? The city normally, how's the protocol?
He would have been issued a vacation rental certificate, and he was not issued one yet.
So this is something that I didn't know, because we submitted the applications, we submitted the tax payments, we submitted all the payments for everything. So I didn't know that we had to physically get, because this is the first time I've ever done an Airbnb.
I understand, but unfortunately, when you do any type of business with the city, you're responsible for knowing the laws. So,
Yeah.
With that in mind, I'm going to impose a fine of $5,000. The city was seeking $15,000. I'm going to impose $5,000.
Okay. And is there, with that, because this is the first time that I've ever had to deal with this, so what do I have to do with this in terms of the payment? How does this work?
I'll have the city. You can either pay it or there's a lien amnesty for the, no, there's not. No, you pay it. So will he get an email with an order or something with?
I'm sorry.
You'll get an email with, you'll get an order and that'll allow you the link to how to make a payment.
Okay. My last question. The previous owners, they were Airbnb-ing this exact property, right? So we had purchased it December 15th. What is the line, I guess, when somebody else purchases a property that has already been Airbnb'd? What's the difference of it being Airbnb'd?
Well, it's a new ownership. So
It's
they
a new
can't
ownership.
transfer.
Just changing the ownership?
A new application has to be applied for by the new owner.
Correct. So I did apply for the application. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right, but you hadn't received your certificate yet.
Okay. So then how long does it take to receive a certificate, I guess?
It depends on when you applied. Have you received
February.
it yet?
I'm assuming that we're fine.
he can't receive one until this case is closed.
There you go.
Okay. So then I'll receive it through the mail, the fine pay or whatever it is? Okay. Thank you.
Our next case, page 33.
Let's see.
Inspector Raphael Santos, case number CE 23110332, case address 2612 Southwest 14th Avenue, owner Tammy Salentino. This case was first heard 3/12/24 to comply by 6/11/24. One suspension from 6/11/24 to 9/10/24. 3 sections not complied at $50 per day. Fines start 9/11/24, and this is a request for extension.
Good morning, Inspector Raphael Santos for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case CE 23110332. The property address is 2612 Southwest 14th Avenue. Case was first heard on March 12, 2024, where the magistrate found for the city and given 91 days to comply to June 11, 2024, or a fine of $100 a day. Case was heard again on June 11, 2024, where the magistrate gave another 91 days extension. An inspection was conducted on September 4th, 2024, and found the violations remain. There is one code section, 9-308A, which is complied, which is the roof. All remaining violations are still active, and the city is requesting full imposition of fines and is opposed to any extension.
You gave the wrong information. Okay. Please state your name.
My name is Robert Rucci. I'm a 50-year resident of Fort Lauderdale. I'm a mosaic artist for the city. This is Tammy, longtime employee of one of the oldest yachting marinas in town and born in Hollywood. My studio's across the street, by the way. I'm speaking on behalf of my fiance here about the current status of this family home since 1986. I read that in order to qualify for an additional extension, there must be special circumstances, and today we're hoping that we've met these requirements. Since we met last, we've complied with all the crazy requirements in order to receive a demolition estimate that is required in order to list the property correctly, $32,000 demo bill. Our real estate people, our retired Fire Chief Tommy O'Day and his daughter Chelsea, they've been our local real estate for decades. They tell me that selling this B1 zoned property is a challenge, and there must be full transparency in the listing, including all the gasoline damage caused by Racetrack gas station 400 feet away during the April 23 flood. In the last 90 days, we've been stripping all salvageable items, taken 22 sad trips to the salvage yard. In early August, we both came down with COVID, had 3 weeks of downtime, as we were pretty sick. We both tested negative since. At this time, we are on the edge of actually posting the listing, as Chelsea has been working on this with us since we realized the house cannot be restored. Stress levels get very high whenever it rains. At this point, after surviving 33 inches of rushing water topped with 2 inches of gasoline, The PTSD is real. Since the recent installation of the drainage and pitching in Edgewood, the property and the one next door floods each and every time it rains. It's frustrating, dangerous, and unacceptable. There's zero drains on our street. At this point, we want to wash our hands of the entire nightmare, and Ms. O'Day will be listing this property with the grace of God within the next 3 weeks. Our nightmare continues as we are looking to find another place we can call home while living in an RV on site for 412 days. So we are respectively asking for a final continuance in order to sell this property, which is completely destroyed, and its chronic flooding dilemmas.
So is the outside structure, is that the RV that you're citing them for?
No, that's the structure that's on top of the RV.
Oh, that's to
Protect the RV from.
that just keeps the rain from and air conditioning from taking on the elements. That's all.
And the other violation, the other violation, 9-305B, is for the landscape not being maintained. Has nothing to do with the home.
Okay, okay. Well, it's hard to landscape a property that gets 8 inches of water every time it rains.
Okay, so how much time do you need?
We were respectfully asking for another 90 days. I'm sure it'd probably be long before that.
You're just trying to sell the property?
Oh, yeah, big time. We can't live, the property's unlivable.
All right, I'm going to grant the extension, okay? It'll be December 10th, okay? 91 days.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck to
Appreciate
you.
it. Oh, also, the roof was never fixed.
Sorry.
Oh,
It
okay, I'm sorry, I was going
faded.
to say.
Yeah, so that's why I complied that portion.
Oh, I see, yeah, no, yeah, thank you.
Our next case, page 30. Inspector Gail Williams, case number CE 24040029, case address 5910 Northeast 28th Avenue, owner Tara S. Udelson. This case was first heard 7/9/24 to comply by 7/19/24 and 9/10/24. 4 sections not complied at $100 per day, $10,600 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount. The fines continue to accrue. This is a request for extension.
Good morning, Senior Officer Gail Williams for the City of Fort Lauderdale. (9-305B). The grass is dead with brown patches throughout and not being maintained. 18-11B complied. 9-308B complied. 9-313A complied. 9-304B. The driveway has rust stains, oil stains, and is covered with white sand and dirt. 24-29.A complied. 18-1 complied. The pre-hearing inspection was conducted on September 10, 2024. Violations 9-305B and 9-304B remains.
I'm requesting an extension.
Okay, so the city is agreeing to the extension of 63 days.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
So grant the extension for those two, okay, for November 12th.
Our next case, page 28, Inspector Guy Siderman, case number CE 23120704, case address 859 Northwest 16th Terrace, owner Alliance Property Development LLC. This case was first heard at 5/30/24 to comply by 7/25/24. 2 sections not complied at $50 per day, $4,700 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount, and the fines continue to accrue.
Guy Satterman, City of Fort Lauderdale, Code Compliance, presenting case CE 23120704, the property located at 859 Northwest 16th Terrace. This case was first heard on 5/30/24. The magistrate ruled in favor of the city, and the property owner was ordered to correct the violations at this property by 7/25/24. The violations at this property
continue to accrue.
Right. We had applied for a permit. There was a contracting company that was issued for this job on the 25th of July, but apparently it was voided. It was sent back to them, so they had resubmitted for an application for a permit, and that's under still review. Attempts were made to actually correct the violations, but apparently it didn't hold up to it, so we had to get a company to come and do the repavement for it. So during this time period, since I think it was on the 21 of last month, as a matter of fact, is when they actually applied for the new resubmission for the permit. So that's still waiting under review for approval, so they can finalize the project.
What about the landscaping?
The landscape, I'm sorry to interrupt you. The landscaping was not achieved as far as in front where the mailbox is at, where the water's sitting on the swell, assuming that we couldn't touch that based on without the permit.
Did he address that?
Good morning, Supervisor Cloyne with the City of Fort Lauderdale. There is a permit in the system. It is the last comment was on 8/26, where they sent an email back for corrections. So it's in the system. It's just waiting corrections for the permit application.
Can you address the swale? He said he doesn't know if he needs a permit for the area where the water is, whether he has to get a permit to do something with that.
Well, the permit is for the...
Oh, it's for that. So then, sir, what about the landscape that's not being maintained?
As far as the landscaping not being maintained, that I haven't been to the property to actually see its current state. But
because you're getting fined $50 a day just for the landscaping, you know
right.
that.
I just haven't been to the property to see its current state as far as
You don't live there?
No, I'm just representing the owners for it. And that front area from where the mailbox is at, all the way up to the front window of the house, all that got resodded because it was dead. But the area that's missing sod is on the front swell to the left side of the house, where the water puddle's at. That's the one that I'm guessing the violation is still continuing for it. But I didn't go ahead and put the sod there because since the area where it was being worked on in front of the driveway was being done as an attempt to repair the asphalt, the lady didn't have a place to park because the lady has 3 vehicles in the property and there's only one parking spot, so to speak, where that van is at right now. So the Mercedes is parked in the spot where it was.
Right. Well, you're going to have to get them to, if it's,
US 2 LLC, personal service on 8/30/24, posted at 1 East Broward, 8/28/24.
Good morning, Captain Robert Casar, Fort Lauderdale Fire Marshal's Office for case FC 240800016, property address 817 Southeast 2nd Avenue. Property is cited in reference to municipal order section 13.
Our next case, page 11, Inspector Karen Proto, case number CE 2404-0243, case address 2312 Northwest 15th Court, owner Annie L. Dinkins, posted at property 82224, posted at 1 East Broward 82824.
Morning. Inspector Proto for the City of Fort Lauderdale, case number CE 2404-0243, property address 2312 Northwest 15th Court. The property was inspected on 4/7/24 and the following (9-304B). There are vehicles, trailers parked on the lawn and grass area. 47-341A1. There is illegal land use occurring at this RS8 property. Okay. There are items being stored outside, such as wood, furniture, containers, and other miscellaneous items. 9-306. The exterior walls are not maintained. There are areas of the exterior that have stained and missing paint. 18-12A has complied. The property was, an inspection report was posted at the property on 4/7/24. A reinspection on the property was done on 4/21/24. A notice of hearing was posted on 8/22/24. As of pre-hearing inspection on 9/9/24, the violations remain as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 28 days or $50 a day thereafter for each violation.
Good morning. Please state your name for the record.
John Dinkins.
Okay, Mr. Dinkins, so the city wants compliance for these violations within 28 days, which is October 8th, or a fine of $50 a day per violation will start, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
You'll be able to get in compliance with all of those violations?
I've complied to it.
Okay, good luck to you then.
I have.
Oh, you have complied?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, the city did a reinspection. When did you go back out? Okay, so they went out yesterday and you were not in compliance.
Yeah, let's see. Well, to be honest with you, I just found this, this compliance note. I
Our next case, page 13. Inspector Guy Seiderman, case number CE 24070261, case address 1713 Northwest 7th Court, owner CNS Developers and Builders and More LLC, posted at property 82224, posted at 1 East Broward 82824.
Guy Seiderman, City of Fort Lauderdale, Code Compliance, presenting case number CE 240700261 for the property located at 1713 Northwest 7th Court. This property was first inspected on 7/11/2024 and given time to correct for the following violations. Violation 9, TAC 280H1. The fence at this property is in disrepair, is not being maintained as required. There are sections which are leaning, have bent poles in the area which are not secured properly. The poles are not attached and secured properly. This is a reoccurring violation only. Reference case number CE 22040499, and the city is asking the repeat verbiage to be stricken from the record on file. Furthermore, we are not asking for immediate fines to accrue. We are, however, asking for a 63 days to comply or a fine in the amount of $50 per day thereafter. Violations 9 TAC 305B is actually in compliance as of yesterday. I would like to submit my case file and photos to the court.
Sir, up here. Yeah, gotta go up here. Can you turn on the mic for me, please? Thank you. Please state your name.
Cato, Ian Cato.
Okay, so the city is seeking compliance with the fence in 63 days, which would be November 12th, or a fine of $50 a day.
Understand,
Okay.
yes.
Is that, you'll get in compliance by that sufficient time?
Well, the fence is probably going to have to be removed because we're getting ready to start construction on that property. So
if you remove the fence, it's in compliance then, right? All right, so if you remove the fence, you're in compliance.
Well, I mean, it's going to have to be some kind of protection for the property because if I leave it open, then people are going to go in there and dump stuff, and then it's going to be another problem. So I'm trying to figure out what type. I can't put up a permanent fence as yet because it's going to be trucks in and out of that property, you know, dropping off materials for the building. So I'm trying to stay in compliance with the city.
So if you remove the fence, if you remove the fence, you're in compliance, or if you put a new fence, you're in compliance. So that's up to you. But I'm going to give you 63 days to figure it out.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Good luck to you.
Our next case, Inspector Guy Seiderman, page 29. Inspector Guy Seiderman, case number CE 24030218, case address 2151 Northwest 7th Street, owner Devad Investment LLC. This case was first heard 7/25/24 to comply by 8/4/24 and 8/9/24. 3 sections not complied at $100 per day for a total of $17,000. 3 sections complied at $100 per day for a total of $13,200. Total $30,200. The city is requesting the full amount, and the fines continue to accrue.
Guy Seiderman, City of Fort Lauderdale, Code Compliance, presenting case CE 240-30218 for the property located at 2151 Northwest 7th Street. This case was first heard on 7/25/24. The magistrate ruled in favor of the city, and the property owner was ordered to correct the violations at this property by 8/4/24 and 8/9/24. Violation 9, TAC 363, complied 4 days. Violation 9, TAC 306, non-complied 81 days. Violation 9, TAC 280, complied prior to fines. Violation 9, TAC 305B, non-complied, 37 days. Violation 24, TAC 29A, complied, 61 days. Violation 47, 19.4.D.8, complied, 61 days. Violation 18, tag 12, non-complied. The violations at this property still not been brought into compliance as of September 5th. The city is requesting full imposition of fines in the amount of $25,000, with fines continuing to accrue.
Okay, so the fines you have, I have 30,200. You're saying they're 25,000?
Where it gets 25,000 with fines continue to accrue.
All right, so who has the correct amount? All right, well.
30,200. It's 30,200.
So it'd be 30,200. Is that correct?
Okay. All right, please state your name.
My name is David Robinson. I'm David Olivares. He's the property owner. I'm the property manager, but he's given me authority to speak on his behalf.
Okay, go ahead then.
So we understand that obviously we've been going back and forth. This property has been a complete roller coaster, not necessarily just with Mr. Guy, the previous person that was there, you know, basically doing all of the back and forth with him too. And we've been just having a mess with I don't want to say the culture or maybe the street. It's just, if you look down the same street or somebody rides their bike around their corner, they're constantly throwing trash away. So what we've done in order to prevent a little bit more, right there, stop there for a second, you can see that we put a picture of a camera there so that we can physically see what is going on. We've noticed a few of the tenants have been throwing trash on the side of the trash can. We've already rectified that, and we've told them not to do that. We're imposing fines on them. So it's just been, like, for example, that trash container, yeah, we saw that. It's already been fixed. It's been taking a lot of time because half of the building at one point wasn't producing. So if there was no money coming in, how can we obviously take that? That trash can, we had an issue with the city back and forth. That I know.
But what about the exterior building walls? You have violation 9-306 that your fines are continuing to run. The exterior building walls have not been maintained. Structural parts, including fascia, soffits.
If you stop there at that picture, and then if you go to the other picture that's further down, you'll see that has already been painted. So
But they last inspected the property. When did you last inspect the property?
Yesterday when it was raining. Exactly. So if you come by the end of this weekend, hopefully it's not going to rain, but I see the forecast and it clearly sees that it's going to.
Okay.
That is stucco.
Yesterday, it's not.
No, I know that's stucco that was needed to obviously dry. So now that it's dry, then obviously we can go ahead. If you stop there again, you see that we tried multiple times to put the little white patch there. That's stucco that had just never dried. So now that it's dried, we're good.
What about the landscaping?
The landscaping, if we look around every single part of everywhere, we don't see landscaping. So we're just waiting for that patch to finish. We were doing one thing at a time because we have one person that's working. We're just going to buy sod and lay it down. And that's it.
You have fines that are running now. That's my
understand.
point. And you also have overgrowth trash and rubbish and debris on the property or its swale. And
the swale is going to be extremely difficult unless I put a security person to stand there all day, all night. Now with that camera, I literally can see people going by there, and they're not tenants. They just go and throw stuff away. Me personally, I was there, and I spoke to Guy about this. We were standing right there, and somebody drove by and just threw something on the side. So it's going to be difficult, again, unless somebody wants to come by and have a security guard in the corner. You know, there was a mass shooting over the weekend around the street. So it's becoming a little harder.
Good morning, Your Honor. Supervisor Cloyne.
Yes, I know this is recurring.
I just want to point out, I understand what he's saying. However, it's still the responsibility of the owner to maintain their property. These are repeat violations. Some were from 2 years ago. One or two of them were from last year. So the property is not in compliance. So we're asking for the fines to accrue.
I'm going to grant that, and then once you're in compliance, you can request amnesty or mitigation, but you just need to get in compliance.
And that's fine. Yeah, Guy comes to the property almost every day. I might as well just give him an apartment there. So,
okay, good luck to you.
Fine. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We'll talk later, Guy, okay?
Thank you, Guy.
Yeah, man, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Page 2, Inspector Robert Kasarowicz, case number FC 2407-0008, case address 1489 Southeast 17th Street, number 1C, owner Southport Retail LLC, in care of principal real estate investor. Personal service on 828, posted at 1 East Broward on 8/28/24. This case is complied. Next case, page 3, Inspector Robert Kasarowicz, case number FC 2407-0014, case address 1800 South Ocean Drive, owner Townhouses of Harbor Beach Condo Association, posted at property 8/30/24, posted at 1 East Broward 8/28/24.
And Captain Robert Kasarowicz for case FC 2407-0014, property address 1800 South Ocean Drive. Property cited in reference to NFPA 101-7.9.2.1, that is complied, and Municipal Order Section 13-58B. The Fire Protection System report required to be submitted to the Fire Rescue Department has not been submitted electronically to the compliance engine. We're requesting 28 days or $100 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Next case, page 6, Inspector Fitzgerald Simmons, case number CE 24080065, case address 1922 South Ocean Lane, owner Ocean Lane Villas Inc., posted at property 8/22/24, posted at 1 East Broward 8/28/24. This case is complied. Next case, page 7, Inspector Shaquan Kendrick, case number CE 24060362, case address 6721 Northwest 26 Way, owner Yam Tom Benjaminson and Shia Benjaminson, posted at property 8/26/24, posted at 1 East Broward 8/28/24.
For the record, Inspector Kendrick presenting case CE 240603662, address 6721 Northwest 26 Way. This case was first cited on June 18, 2024 for the following violations. Violation 9-305B complied. Violation 9-304B, there's a trailer parked on the lawn area on the south side of the property. The driveway has cracked, discolored, and not being maintained in a well-kept appearance. Violation 24-7B complied. This case was re-inspected on September the 8th, and violation 9-304B remains as depicted in the photos. Both violations are under the code 9-305B. The city is requesting 15 days for the trailer and 63 days for the driveway, or $100 per day for each violation thereafter.
I don't have a driveway violation. I just have 3 violations. I have a landscape, a trailer, and a bulk trash.
Yes, the driveway and the parking on the grass is the same violation.
They have 2 violations under the 2 different things in the same violation?
Yes.
Okay, so 9-304B, I'm sorry, can you repeat what you're requesting? Because I need to have some clarity.
The city is requesting 15 days for the trailer and 63 days for the driveway.
Split it like that.
You can't split it. You can't split it because it's one violation, is what I'm being told.
We'll give them 63 days for the violation.
Okay, so 63 days or $100 a day, is that what you're seeking?
Yes, for each violation.
Okay, so I guess it has to be clear in the order then. So for the trailer to be removed and for the driveway to be repaired? Is that what it is? Is the driveway?
Yes.
Do you normally put in another violation? How do you make, 'cause it's not clear on my docket, and so.
Yeah, usually 9304B, I mean, it's 2 violations. Normally, people remove the vehicles, so that's kind of why you haven't really heard the 2 together.
Okay.
But it is possible where they don't do either or, so.
Next case, bottom of page 7, Inspector Pat Gavin, case number CE 24070790, case address 2414 East Sunrise Boulevard, owner Keystone Florida Property Holdings, personal service on 8/22/24, posted at 1 East Broward 8/28/24.
Pat Gavin, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case and address as read. This property was first inspected on July 29th and given time to correct for the following violation. 15-28, the business Dior 24K in space G8 is operating without a City of Fort Lauderdale business tax receipt. The city is requesting compliance within 28 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Next case, page 8, Inspector Pat Gavin, case number CE 24070879, case address 1900 North Federal Highway, owner Robert Rickle Trust, JJJ Revocable Trust, personal service on 8/22/24, posted at 1 East Broward 8/28/24.
Pat Gavin, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case and address as read. This property was first inspected on July 30th and given time to correct for the following violation. 15-28, the business at this location is operating without a current year business tax receipt or an outdoor dining permit. The city is requesting compliance within 28 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Next case, Inspector Pat Gavin, case number CE 24080371, case address 1638 North Federal Highway, owner Bal Harbor Square LLC, personal service on 8/22/24, posted at 1 East Broward 8/28/24.
Pat Gavin, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance Officer, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited under case CE 22020222 on February 6, 2022, and given time to comply for the following violations. 24-29A, dumpster overflowing with trash not maintained. 24-27F, there are dumpsters with their lids open at this location. On June 27, 2022, the violations were complied and the case was closed. On August 14, 2024, the property was again cited for the same violations and complied on September 5, 2024. The violations at this property are now in compliance. However, the city is requesting a finding of fact that this is a recurring violation, and any subsequent violation of this code will be cited as a repeat violation with daily fines of $100 per violation for each day the violation exists.
What about violation 47? You didn't mention that one.
That one was not, that's not a recurring. That was the first time.
Did it comply?
Yeah.
Kind of has to let me ask those questions. All right, so ordered.
She has a new job.
Just saying. Lowen is very on top of things.
Next case, Inspector Wanda Avella, case number CE 24050810, case address 1311 Northwest 5th Street, owner Calvin Bray and Cynthia Walden, posted at property 8/29/24, posted at 1 East Broward 8/28/24.
Wanda Aquavella for the city. Case and address is read. The property was inspected on 5/29/24 and the following violations were observed. 9304B, there are vehicles parked on the grass lawn area. This is a recurring violation. See case 2301-0531, and this will be heard before the special magistrate, whether it comes into compliance or not, to obtain a finding of fact. Violation 184C, there are derelict vehicles on this property, including but not limited to a red two-door Cadillac, no tag with flat tires, a black four-door Cadillac with flat tires, a white Eldorado, flat tires and disassembled. This is a recurring violation. See case 2301-0531, and this will be heard before the special magistrate, whether it comes into compliance or not, to obtain a finding of fact. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on 9/9/24, and the property remained in violation. The city is requesting 10 days to come into compliance or a fine of $150 per day per violation.
Okay, so ordered.
Thank you.
Next case, page 9, Inspector Rachel Moore, case number CE 24040874, case address 701 West Evanston Circle, owner Murata Properties, Inc., posted at property 8/30/24, posted at 1 East Broward 8/28/24.
Good morning, Inspector Moore, presenting case just read in. This property was first inspected on 4/28/24, where the following violations were discovered. 9-363, Failure to register their residential rental dwellings within the city. The free application has not been submitted or is incomplete. 47-21.16.a complied, 9-308 parentheses B complied, 9-304 parentheses B is complied, 9-306 is complied. As a pre-hearing inspection dated 9/9/24, the violation of failure to submit the landlord registration application remains out of compliance. The city is requesting 10 days or $250 per day thereafter until compliance is met.
So ordered.
Next case, page 10, Inspector Rachel Moore, case number CE 2406-0399, case address 3421 Jackson Boulevard, owner Muriel Prevelis and Peleus Prevelis, posted at property 8/30/24, posted at 1 East Broward 8/28/24.
Okay, code compliance Rachel Moore, presenting case just read in. This property was first inspected on 6/19/24, where the following violations were discovered. 9-280 parentheses H parentheses 1. The fence at this property is in disrepair and is not being maintained as required. The chain link fence at this property has been pushed onto the sidewalk by the encroaching of the overgrown tree limbs. This is a repeat violation per case CE 2001047. Fines will begin to accrue beginning the first day the violation was observed until compliance is met and will be presented to special magistrate. 25-4. There is an obstructing the sidewalk at this location. Several vehicles are obstructing the sidewalk. 9-304 parentheses B is complied. 18-4 parentheses C. There is a derelict vehicle or trailer on the swell on the property. There are a total of 7 vehicles parked inside the property and on the swell with either no license plate or expired license plate. This is a recurring violation per case number CE 21060-726, CE 200100077, CE 200100374, CE 19020-464, CE 190-461, and will be presented to the special magistrate whether or not compliance is met. 9-280 parentheses H, there is an accessory structure violation at this property. The canopy is missing its cover and the poles are rusted. 9-280 parentheses 9-305 parentheses B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover inside the property and on the swell. This is a recurring violation per case number CE 200100467, and the city is asking that the repeat verbiage be stricken from the record on file. Furthermore, we are not asking for immediate fines to accrue on that. Okay. 9-305 parentheses A, there is a growth of landscape material along with an accumulation of leaves encroaching upon the public right-of-way. The trees in the front of this property has grown over the gate and onto the sidewalk. 18-12 parentheses A, there is overgrowth, trash, rubbish, and debris on this property and or its swell. This is a repeat violation per case number CE 200100467. Fines will begin to accrue beginning the first day of the violation was observed until compliance is met and will be presented to the special magistrate. As a pre-hearing inspection dated 9/9, the property remains out of compliance. At this time, the city is requesting the following for the remaining violations. For violation 9-280 parentheses H parentheses 1, $50 from the first day the violation was observed, beginning 6/19/24, until compliance is met and will continue to, which continues to accrue because it's not in compliance, okay? For violation 25-4 and 9-280H and 9-305, the city is asking for 10 days to comply or $50 per day thereafter. (9-305B B.
Oh,
Okay.
305B?
Yes.
Okay.
And for violations 18-4 parentheses C and 9-305 parentheses B, we're asking for finding of fact for both of those.
Wait a minute, 18-4C?
18-4C is a finding of fact.
But you don't want a compliance date, or they're in compliance with this one?
The 18-4?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm sorry, it's 10 days, sorry.
So you want 10 days for that, or $50
same.
a day? Okay,
Yes.
and then on 9-305A?
I need 10 days to comply or $50 per day thereafter.
Okay, and 18-12A?
$50 for each day the property was inspected, which is 6/19, 7/1, 7/23, 8/13, 8/30, and 9/9, which is what, 5 days? 6 days.
So you
up
want
until compliance is met.
Wait, so you don't want it from the first date? You want it? Do you want it from the
For-
first day, or you want it each of those days? I'm trying to understand.
Just for the days of the property was inspected.
So there's 5 or 6 days.
Yes, right now we're at 6, but it's going to continue to accrue.
So you want 6 days plus continuing
It's
from
going
this
to
day
continue,
forward?
yes.
Is there any reason why you just don't do it from the? It seems so confusing.
So the 1812A, the reason why we do that is because obviously in between it may have been cut or the trash may have been picked up. So we only ask for the times that we go out and re-inspect when we see that it's in violation.
Perfect. Okay, thanks for that clarity.
No problem.
Okay, so did you get the dates? Okay, all right. So ordered.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case, page 12, Inspector Gustavo Caracus, Pat Gavin presenting, case number CE 24070900, case address 1509 East Los Olas Boulevard, owner Darwin Los Olas LLC, posted at property 82424, posted at 1 East Broward 82824.
Pat Gavin, presenting for Gus Caracus, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance Officer, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited under case CE 23110316 on November 15th, 2023, and given time to comply for the following violation. 47-19.4.b.1, there is a large 4-yard bulk container stored in the alleyway behind the building establishment, being placed and stored on the neighbor's property without having a dumpster enclosure. On March 11, 2023, the violation was complied and the case was closed. On July 31, 2024, the property was again cited for the same violation. The violation of this property is still not in compliance. The city is seeking full compliance within 63 days or a fine.
Gustavo Caracus, Pat Gavin presenting, case number CE 24070260, case address 821 Northwest 4th Avenue, owner Roger T. and Erica M. Rodriguez, posted at property 82324, posted at 1 East Broward 82824.
Pat Gavin, presenting for Gus Caracus, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance Officer, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited under case CE 24010599 on January 6, 2024, and given time to comply for the following violations. 18-4C, there is a derelict vehicle on the back of the property without a tag. 9-304B, there are vehicles parked on the grass and lawn area. The gravel driveway is not being maintained. There's grass weeds growing through it. On May 9th, 2024, the violation was complied and the case was closed. On July 10th, 2024, the property was again cited for the same violations. The violations at this property are now in compliance. However, the city is requesting a finding of fact that this is a recurring violation, and any subsequent violation of this code will be cited as a repeat violation with daily fines of $100 per violation for each day the violation exists.
So you want a finding of fact for both?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so ordered.
Thank you.
Next case, page 13, Inspector Edward Eason, case number CE 24060528, case address 128 Southwest 24th Avenue, owner Heather M. and Tori A. Isaac, posted at property 83024, posted at 1 East Broward 82824.
Good morning, Edward Eason, City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case CE 24060528 for the property located at 128 Southwest 24th Avenue. An inspection of the property was conducted on 6/28 of 24, and the following violations were observed. 9-304B, there are vehicles, trailers parked on the grass lawn area. 9-305B, the landscape at the property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover on the front lawn and swale areas. The pre-hearing inspection was conducted on 9/9 of 24, and the violations remained. The city is requesting 28 days or $50 per day thereafter for each violation until compliance is met.
So ordered. Yeah.
Next case, Inspector Edward Eason, case number CE 24050826, case address 712 Southwest 12th Avenue. Owner Robert J. Clark, posted at property 8/30/24, posted at 1 East Brower 8/28/24.
Good morning, Edward Easton, City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case CE 24050826 for the property located at 712 Southwest 12th Avenue. An inspection of the property is conducted on 6/28 of 24, and the following violation was observed. 8-1449, rafting of vessels observed in a waterway behind this residential property. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on 9/9 of 24, and a violation remained. The city is requesting 63 days or $50 per day thereafter until compliance is met.
So ordered.
My apologies, we're going to skip to page 25. Bottom of page 25, Inspector Fitzgerald Simmons, case number CE 24040666, case address 1120 Northeast 2nd Avenue, owner Anna Knezovich. This case was first cited 4/20/24 to comply by 4/20/24. Two sections complied at $250 per day for a total of $500. The city is requesting the full amount. Appeal deadline was 5/5/24 and no appeal was received.
Senior Inspector Simmons, presenting on behalf of Inspector Burge for the City of Fort Lauderdale, case number CE 24040666. This property was first inspected on April 20th, 2024, following a neighbor complaint, STR bot number 240-420-21-439, about loud noise, parking, and over occupancy, and the following violations were observed. Section 15-278, subsection 1, subsection E. This is a chapter 15, article X, vacation rental standards parking violation occurring at this property. This violation is transient in nature. The city is seeking a one-time fine of $250. Section 15-275, subsection 5, responsible party failed to respond to the property in person within 1 hour of being notified by a vacation rental occupant, law enforcement officer, emergency personnel, or the city. This violation is transient in nature. The city is seeking a one-time fine of $250. This concludes my testimony.
Okay, so ordered.
Back to page 14, Inspector Gail Williams, case number CE 24040307, case address 2823 Northeast 36th Street, owner Edward Echeverry, personal service on 8/27/24, posted at 1 East Brower 8/28/24.
Pat Gavin, City of Fort Lauderdale, Code Compliance, presenting case and address as read. This property was first inspected by Officer Avella on April 10th, 2024, and cited for the following violation. 47-21.15.a, it shall be unlawful to remove a tree without first obtaining a tree removal permit. A ficus tree has been removed without first obtaining a permit. This case will be brought before the special magistrate to request the imposition of fines for an irreparable and irreversible violation. The city is requesting imposition of a fine of $150 for the violation and compliance within 63 days, or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Next case, page 15, Inspector Gail Williams, case number CE 24030618, case address 2701 Northeast 27th Street, owner Patrick J. Nolan Jr., posted at property 8/22/24, posted at 1 East Brower 8/28/24.
Good morning, Senior Officer Gail Williams for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case CE 24030618, address 2701 Northeast 27th Street. This is a case for finding of fact. 18-12A has complied, 18-1 complied. On violation 18-12A, this is a reoccurring violation, reference case number CE 23080250, and will be proceed to special magistrate to obtain a finding of fact whether or not it comes into compliance or not. That's it.
City seeking any type of fine if there's a reoccurrence or just a finding of fact?
This is a finding of fact.
Okay, so ordered.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next case, page 17, Inspector Marco Agilera, case number CE 24060660, case address 512 Northwest 15th Terrace, owner Nareed Patel Estates, posted at property 83124, posted at 1 East Broward 82824.
Good morning, Marco Agilera for case and address as read. This case was first cited by Officer Proto for the following violations. 9-363, failure to register the residential rental dwelling within the city of Fort Lauderdale. 9-280H1, the fence at this property is in disrepair and is not being maintained as required. There is an unpermitted bamboo fence that has been erected to cover the broken and missing portions of the chain link fence. 9-306, the exterior building walls have not been maintained. There are areas of the exterior that have stains, missing, and peeling paint. This is a repeat violation of CE 22050748. 47341A1, there is illegal land use occurring at this property. There are items stored on the exterior of this RS8 residential single-family home property, including but not limited to paint buckets, cinder blocks, wood fence slats, and other miscellaneous items. This is also a repeat violation per case CE 22050748. 9-305B, the landscape of this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. This is also a repeat violation of CE 22050748. 9-313A, the property is not identified by approved address numbers. This was also a repeat per previous case CE 22050748. That violation did comply on 8/20/24. As of 9/3/24, the property remains in violation as per the photos depict. At this time, City is requesting the following. For 9-363, 10 days to come into compliance or fines of $250 a day. For 9-280H1, 28 days to come into compliance or fines of $100 per day. For 9-306, 47344A1, and 9-305B, City requests fines to begin the date the violations were first observed on June 30th, and for fines to continue to accrue at $50 per day per violation. And finally, for 9-313A, City requests to impose fines from the date the violation was first observed until the date that compliance was met on 8/20/24 at $50 per day.
47-34.1A1, is that the one you're saying? You want from June 30th until when?
Until today, and for them to continue to accrue. It's still not in compliance.
So you just want from June 30th and continuing like the other ones?
Yes.
Okay, so
For 9-306, for 47-34-1A1, and for 9-305B. Those are all going to be the same.
okay, do you need a finding of fact for 9-313A or no?
Yes.
Okay, so ordered.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next case, page 18, Inspector Marco Agilera, case number CE 24040268, case address 1324 Mango Isle, owner Janice A. Terrell, posted at property 83124, posted at 1 East Broward 82824.
Marco Agilera, Senior Code Compliance Officer, presenting case and address as read. This case was first cited on 4/8/24 for the following violations. 9-278E, there are hurricane shutters covering some of the windows of this residential property. 8-91C, there is a mooring structure in disrepair at the rear of this property. In this condition, it is found to be unsafe and in unsatisfactory condition. As of 9/4/24, the property remains in violations as per the photos depict. At this time, City is requesting 10 days for 9-278E, or fines of $100 per day. And for violation 8-91C, City is requesting 28 days or $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Next case, Inspector Marco Agilera, case number CE 24050550, case address 77 Hendricks Isle, owner Yale Properties Development LLC. This case is complied. Next case, page 19, Inspector Raphael Santos, case number CE 0029, case address 320 Southwest 21st Street, owner Aratorio Fortress LLC, posted at property 82624, posted at 1 East Broward 82824.
Inspector Raphael Santos for the City of Fort Lauderdale. Case and address as read into the record. I inspected this property on July 2nd, 2024, and cited for the following violations. 9-363, failure to register this residential dwelling within the city. The free application has not been submitted or completed. 9-304B, the gravel soil area has weeds growing through it. An inspection report was posted on the property July 2nd, 2024, and a copy was mailed to the owner on BCPA. Re-inspected the property August 14th, 2024, posted the property August 26th, 2024. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on September 5th, 2024, and found that the violations are not complied. The city is requesting the following: for 9-363, 10 days to comply, or $250 thereafter. For 9-304B, 28 days to comply, or $100 thereafter.
So ordered.
Next case, Inspector Raphael Santos, case number CE 2406-0504, case address 222 Southwest 20th Street, owner Lawrence Morgan, posted at property 82224, posted at 1 East Broward 82824.
Inspector Raphael Santos for the City of Fort Lauderdale. Case and address read into the record. I inspected this property on June 23rd, 2024, and cited for the following violations. 47-21.9.K. This RM15 residential multifamily low-rise, medium-density stone or gravel is being utilized at this location in the excess of the maximum 10% allowance of total landscape area. 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover in the soil area. Inspection report was posted on the property on June 23rd, 2024, and a copy was mailed to the owner listed on BCPA. Re-inspected this property August 15th, 2024. I posted this property August 22nd, 2024. Pre-hearing inspection was conducted September 4th, 2024, and found that the violations are not complied. The city is requesting 28 days to comply, or a fine thereafter for each violation.
How much is it?
$50 per violation.
Okay, so ordered.
Thank you.
Next case, page 20, Inspector Edward Eason, case number CE 2407-0195, case address 108 Southwest 24th Avenue, owner TML Enterprises LLC, posted at property 83024, posted at 1 East Broward 82824.
Good morning, Edward Easton, City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case CE 2407-0195 for the property located at 108 Southwest 24th Avenue. Inspection of the property is conducted on 7/11/24, and the following violations were observed. 9-304B, the driveway at the property is in disrepair, having stains, weeds growing through. 18-12A, there is overgrowth, trash, rubbish, and debris on the property and/or its swale. The violation is now complied, but is a repeat violation, case CE 2301-0288. A pre-hearing inspection of the property is conducted on 9/9/24, and violation 9-304B remained. The city is requesting a fine of $50 for the repeat violation 18-12A, and 28 days or $50 per day thereafter for violation 9-304B until compliance is met.
So you want a finding of fact and then $50 if it reoccurs on 18-12A?
18-12A is a repeat, a one-time fine of $50 for the one,
fine.
for the one reinspection we conducted.
Okay, and do you also want a finding of fact on that one, or just a fine, one-time fine?
Just a one-time. It's already a repeat.
Okay, and what was the date of the one time that they had the violation?
I'd have to look at the computer at the case for the reinspection you're talking about.
Well, the day that you're seeking the fine to apply for, since you're seeking a fine, we want to put in the order. What's the date that they incurred a fine of $50?
Yes.
You can look it up.
Perfect.
The reinspection was conducted on July 11th for the $50 fine.
Perfect. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
So ordered.
Next case, page 21, Inspector Rachel Moore. Case number CE 24050245. Case address 2761 Southwest 2nd Street. Owner NBA Entertainment Group, Inc. in care of Rodolphe Legros. Posted at property 8/30/24. Posted at 1 East Broward 8/28/24.
Inspector Rachel Moore presenting case just read in. This property was first inspected on 5/10/24 on behalf of by Senior Code Officer Manuel Garcia, when the following violations were discovered. 9-280 (H)(1) complied. The chain link fence at this property is in disrepair and is not being maintained as required. There are areas of the chain link fence that were observed broken and missing support. This is a repeat violation of case number CE 230100520, and fines will begin to accrue starting the first day the violation was observed until compliance is met. 9-305 (B). The landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. This is a repeat violation of case number CE 230100520, and fines will begin to accrue starting the first day the violation was observed until compliance is met. 18-12 (A) was withdrawn. As a pre-inspection dated 9/9/24, the violation of missing ground cover remains out of compliance. The city is requesting $200 per violation per day beginning the first day the violation was discovered, which is 5/10/24, until compliance is met, which continues to accrue.
Okay, so ordered. Yeah. No, before you go back, you're right, she did say that. So on 9-280 (H)(1), you had said that was compliance. Is there not compliance?
It's complied, but it's a repeat violation.
So then, but you asked for a fine since May 10th, so you can't, if they're in compliance, are you asking for a finding of fact then with?
No, it's a repeat violation, so beginning 9/10 until compliance was breached.
But they're in compliance. It's not making sense, your request. You can't ask for from May 10th if they're in compliance.
So what were you asking for? You were asking until compliance is met. If it was already met, then?
It's been met.
So then you would just ask for the fees
fines,
for the days that it was out of compliance as the repeat.
Okay, so what's the date that you're asking for $200 a day fine?
5/10 until the day, let's see.
I need exact dates. What
Yes.
do you request? So you're asking for a significant fine. I need to know what are the dates you're
I
requesting?
understand. The date that it was complied was on. I would have to look at it on my computer in order to get
All right,
the correct date.
we can circle back to it. You have your computer with you? Okay, perfect. So why don't we'll recall it while you figure that out. Thank you.
Our next case, page 24, Inspector Gustavo Caracus, Pat Gavin presenting case number CE 2402049, case address 831 Northeast 5th Avenue, owner 450 Northeast 9th, owner LLC, in care of Aimco Investment Company LLC. This case was first heard 5/30/24 to comply by 7/25/24. One section not complied at $100 per day, $4,700 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount, and the fines continue to accrue.
Hi, Pat Gavin presenting for Gus Caracus, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case and address as read. This case was first heard on May 30th. The magistrate ruled in favor of the city, and the property owner was ordered to correct violations at this property by July 25th. The violations at this property have still not been brought into compliance. The case has been non-compliant for 47 days with a fee of $100 per day for a total of $4,700 currently due. The city is requesting full imposition of fines in the amount of $4,700 with fees continuing to accrue.
So ordered.
Next case, Inspector Gustavo Caracus, Pat Gavin, presenting case number CE 240200250, case address 450 Northeast 9th Street, owner 450 Northeast 9th, owner LLC, in care of Aimco Investment Company LLC. This case was first heard 5/30/24 to comply by 7/25/24. One section not complied at $100 per day, $4,700 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount, and the fines continue to accrue.
Pat Gavin, presenting for Gus Caracus, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case and address as read. This case was first heard on May 30th, and the magistrate ruled in favor of the city, and the property owner was ordered to correct violations at this property by July 25th. The violations at this property have still not been brought into compliance. The case has been non-compliant for 47 days with a fee of $100 per day for a total of $4,700 currently due. The city is requesting the full imposition of fines in the amount of $4,700 with fees continuing to accrue.
So ordered.
Next case, Inspector Gustavo Caracus, Pat Gavin, presenting case number CE 240200254, case address 550 Northeast 9th Street, owner 55 Northeast 9th, owner LLC, in care of Aimco Investment Company LLC. This case was first heard 5/30/24 to comply by 7/25/24. One section not complied at $100 per day, $4,700 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount, and the fines continue to accrue.
Pat Gavin, presenting for Gus Caracus, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case and address as read. The case was first heard on May 30th, 24. The magistrate ruled in favor of the city, and the property owner was ordered to correct violations at this property by July 25th. The violations have still not been brought into compliance. This case has been non-compliant for 47 days with a fee of $100 per day for a total of $4,700 currently due. The city is requesting full imposition of fines in the amount of $4,700 with fees continuing to accrue.
So ordered.
Next case, Inspector Gustavo Caracus, Pat Gavin, presenting case number CE 240200257, 820, case address 820 Northeast 5th Avenue, owner 55 Northeast 9th, owner LLC, in care of Aimco Investment Company LLC. This case was first heard 5/30/24 to comply by 7/25/24. One section not complied at $100 per day, $4,700 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount, and the fines continue to accrue.
Pat Gavin, presenting for Gus Caracus, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case and address as read. This case was first heard on May 30th, 2024. The magistrate ruled in favor of the city, and the property owner was ordered to correct violations by July 25th. The violations at this property have still not been brought into compliance. This case has been non-compliant for 47 days with a fee of $100 per day for a total of $4,700 currently due. The city is requesting the full imposition of fines in the amount of $4,700 with fees continuing to accrue.
So ordered.
Next case, page 25, Inspector Gustavo Caracus, Pat Gavin, presenting case number CE 240300107, case address 109 South Victoria Park Road, owner Russell A. Ballou. This case was first heard 6/27/24 to comply by 7/25/24. One section not complied at $50 per day, $2,350 accrued. City is requesting the full amount, and the fines continue to accrue.
Pat Gavin, presenting for Gus Caracus, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case and address as read. This case was first heard on June 27th. The magistrate ruled in favor of the city, and the owner was ordered to correct violations by July 25th. The violations have still not been brought into compliance. This case has been non-compliant for 47 days with a fee of $50 per day for a total of $2,350 currently due. The city is requesting full imposition of fines in the amount of $2,350 with fees continuing to accrue.
So ordered.
Next case, Inspector Gustavo Caracus, Pat Gavin, presenting case number CE 240600092, case address 905 Southeast 8th Street, owner Daniel Marshall Pardue. This case was first heard 7/25/24 to comply by 8/4/24. One section complied at $50 per day, $1,450 accrued. The city is requesting no fines.
Pat Gavin, presenting for Gus Caracus, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case and address as read. This case was first heard on July 25th, 2024, and the magistrate ruled in favor of the city. The owner was ordered to correct the violations by August 4th, 2024. The violation was brought into compliance on September 5th, 2024. This case was not compliant for 32 days with a fee of $50 per day for a total of $1,600 currently due, and the city is requesting no fines for this violation.
Okay, so ordered.
Going back to page 21, Inspector Rachel Moore, case number CE 240500245, case address 2761 Southwest 2nd Street, owner MBA Entertainment Group, Inc.
Inspector Rachel Moore. Okay, in regards to the violation of 9-280 parentheses H parentheses 1, which is complied but is a repeat violation. The fine date, the observation date was 5/10, and it was complied on 6/17, which is a total of 38 days out of compliance.
So from 5/10 to June 17th, or 5/10 to, I'm sorry.
5/10 to June 17th.
That's like 30.
5/10 to 6/17, yes.
6/17.
How many days is that?
38 days.
Okay, that's the city seeking 30 days at $200 a day?
Yes.
Okay. And then you're also seeking on 9-305B, an immediate fine of $200 from May 10, 2024, or is that a continuing?
It's a continuing because it's not complied as of
So
today.
from 5/10/24 to date and continuing?
Yes, 5/10.
Okay, so ordered.
Thank you.
Next case, page 26. Inspector Edward Eason, case number CE 2401034, case address 911 Southwest 11th Avenue, owner Knobs Marina, Inc. This is to vacate order imposing fine from 6/27/24 and to reimpose.
And how much is the full amount the city is requesting then?
The city is requesting $800.
Okay, so ordered.
Next case, page 27, Inspector Raphael Santos, case number CE 24030724, case address 901 Mandarin Isle, owner THR Florida LP. This case was first heard 7/9/24 to comply by 8/13/24. One section not complied at $100 per day, $2,800 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount and the fines continue to accrue.
So ordered.
Next case, Inspector Robert Casar, which case number FC 240300007, case address 300 Southwest 1st Avenue, numbers 145 and 150, owner Limerick Group LLC. This case was first heard 5/30/24 to comply by 7/25/24. One section complied at $100 per day for a total of $3,200. The city is requesting no fines.
So ordered.
Next case, page 28, Inspector Guy Siderman, case number CE 23120384, case address 701 Northwest 21st Terrace, owner 701 Mazal LLC. This case was first heard 6/27/24 to comply by 7/7/24 and 7/25/24. Four sections not complied at $100 per day, $20,600 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount and the fines continue to accrue.
So ordered.
Next case, page 32, Inspector Gustavo Caracus, Pat Gavin presenting. Case number CE 240300944, case address 11 Southeast 12th Avenue, owner Abraham Avi Manoa. This case was first heard 5/30/24 to comply by 6/9/24 and 8/29/24. Three sections not complied at $50 per day, $1,800 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount and the fines continue to accrue. This is a request for extension.
Pat Gavin presenting for Gus Caracus, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case and address as read. This case was first heard on May 30th, 2024. The magistrate ruled in favor of the city, and the property owner was ordered to correct violations at this property by August 29th. 3 violations at this property have still not been brought into compliance. This case has not been compliant for 12 days with a fee of $50 per violation per day for a total of $1,800 currently due. The city is requesting full imposition of fines in the amount of $1,800 with fines continuing to accrue.
I'm going to deny. I'm going to deny the request for extension, and I'm going to grant the city's request for the fines to continue to run and the full amount.
Thank you.
The city is requesting to enter pages 35 and 36 into today's hearing as an exhibit. It is the city's list of complied, closed, withdrawn, and rescheduled cases.
So ordered.
This concludes the special magistrate hearing agenda for Tuesday, September 10th, 2024.